I need to sleep. It's nighttime. If I don't get enough sleep, my circadian rhythm gets off and I'm tired during the day. Down becomes up. I got the eyesy closies and the head nod sleepy jerk wakies. It's chaos.
Yo, if they ain't gonna turn off the lights on us, we might as well treat it like a slumber party.
I did not enjoy slumber parties.
Get in there. Say
Hi, everybody. I'm Peter Travers, and welcome to Popcorn, where we tell you what's popping in the culture. And you all know this. It's season 4 now of Orange is the New Black, and we all binge watch it like crazy. We love every character. We scream, but we especially love Suzanne Crazy Eyes Warren, played by my award-laden guest, Uzo Aduba. She has an award. I think she gets one every 2 hours, you know, because there's Emmys and then there's like Screen Actors Guild Awards and Golden Globes. I give you the popcorn. You're gonna get
this
the
is
popcorn
the real trophy.
award.
Yes.
It is, and it's real. You can.
Oh my gosh.
But how does it feel not only to play such a great part and to be told how great you are?
How?
Well, you are. Everybody says, "I just love you. I love this character." Thanks. So has it changed you? Do you just get up in the morning, look in the mirror, and say, "You're great"?
Definitely not.
No, really.
Definitely not. Not. I would, and I hope that I never wake up and just, could you imagine?
But you do keep the awards right there in the bathroom so that you can see them.
Yeah.
I know that this is.
It's the only place that I can live. No. No. I think that it's. I mean, I live in a different apartment, but that's a change. But primarily, no. I'm just Uzo. My friends are still my friends. It's still my same friends, and my family and I are still. When it's my turn to wash the dishes, it is my turn to wash the dishes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait till you get the 4th Emmy. These people are out.
I can put it in the contract. No,
yeah,
I can do that. No, not at all. No, and our cast, we all relate and still enjoy the experience the same despite, the change in response to the show. I'm really just very grateful for the opportunities that have come professionally more than anything.
Well, yeah, but what people must stop you on the street now all the time and say, what do they say when they see?
Your eyes are so much smaller. A lot of times.
The eyes are smaller. They're really computer generated.
Yes, I've had that question before.
Really?
People are like, do they CGI your eyes? I was like, I don't even know how that would be done, but no. People always think your eyes are so much smaller, or I can't believe you're in a dress. I think people really think sometimes Suzanne maybe is from Bellevue and they're just like shooting her guerrilla style,
that's so great.
Get whatever we can. We'll
the greatest compliment.
Later.
We let her out.
Yeah, exactly.
She comes here on the set and we just shoot this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll work out the plot later.
Yeah,
No. That's the greatest.
Well, anyway, for me to do due diligence, I want to say that season 4 has begun. There are those of us, including me, who have watched all 12 episodes. Last night I finished watching the last 3 episodes, and I need to be somehow put in a sensory deprivation tank because it was too much for me.
Yeah.
And I know we should stay away from spoilers per se. We shouldn't, but
yes,
we do learn a little bit about Suzanne's background. We learn things about how she got there.
Yeah.
Do you have a say in that with the writers, with Genji, with everybody who's putting together the show?
No, I do not. I know very early on we had a conversation and with no sort of formality, asking, what would you think would be something that would bring her here? And just a very simple passing conversation. And I know for sure nothing that I said became part of that story.
Great.
I can say that with confidence.
Actors always feel so listened to.
Yeah,
right?
No, that's not it. But when I read the script, my jaw sort of dropped a little bit with surprise at, firstly, that it was happening. And then secondly, looking at the way that we sort of treat people battling social behaviors,
Oh.
issues, and mental illness. It was really helpful in terms of story, though, to understand where she's coming from and a piece of where some of her pain is from.
How would you basically define who this character is? She's crazy eyes to the world.
Right.
She's Suzanne when you get to know her.
Yeah.
Yeah. It truly is. This is some phrase that's used to put her in a box.
That's right.
And say, you're nuts.
That's exactly right. And
Yeah.
I think you just framed it really well. She's crazy eyes
Okay,
to
my
the
job's
world.
done.
That's done. And done.
And right.
We're done. She's crazy eyes to the world, but she's Suzanne when you get to know her. I think when we, Gingy did this amazing job of, we come into the show meeting these women from the vantage point, the life experience of Piper's character. And these are women that initially she thinks she has no similarity to or understanding of. So we kind of see the funhouse mirror versions of who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not until she sort of assimilates and really climatizes to Litchfield that we start to really mine who these characters are. And I think that's true for Suzanne as well. Suzanne is so much richer than just the knots and, her idiosyncrasies. She has so much more to say. And she tells us that. She says she's crazy. She isn't crazy. She's unique. And I think what she has is a very clear line of thought. She knows what she's saying. It's just getting it out and saying in a way that other people can interpret. That is her challenge.
There are times in the beginning where we're not sure that she knows. But as the series goes on, you begin to see how much awareness she does have.
That's right.
So what do you feel in just terms of the issue of mental health? What responsibility do you feel to how you play her? You can't control how she's written.
That's right.
But you can very much control how she comes off, what that camera picks up.
What I try to take possession of, firstly, is her truth. Nothing that Suzanne ever says is without any merit, or is to be taken without merit, or is to be brushed aside. I really try to decode her language, and I feel like I have begun to understand her process and way of thinking, how she starts talking about something, about Modesto, how she's talking about her cousin who lives in Modesto when we're talking about modesty, and how she kind of
modesty, Modesto,
exactly,
sure,
exactly,
yeah.
How she thread that needle. I started to understand that, and I think more than anything, what I really try to do is to not comment on who she is. I think as soon as I have some sort of wink at what she's saying versus just she sincerely believes what she just said and actually was trying to express herself, then her point is clear for me as the actor. The minute I try to judge it or somehow serve as an observer to what she's doing rather than just saying it, I think it starts to become commentary. And then I think that devalues, one, people who are suffering from behavioral issues. I think, two, it also then depreciates any hope of really humanizing someone battling mental issues.
But this character seemed to have captured the imagination of the public in ways that are really rare. We see shows, we have favorite characters, but we all kind of linked up to this person who on the surface doesn't seem like us at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's just not, we're saying, she's crazy eyed,
Yeah.
and I don't want to mess with her.
Yeah.
And this is it, and yet we're drawn toward her.
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak for others as to why they're drawn to her. I know for myself, I appreciate how open she is. Things like when I think about love with regards to Suzanne, we have never seen her win at it. Not one time have we ever seen her win. And yet, without fail, she tries at it every single time.
But the first season, we see her with Piper. This is
that's right.
This attraction that she can't do anything with.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And she goes into it with full abandon. And even the same when maternal love, when it comes to V, she still approaches it with the same open heart and fullness as as though she's never felt heartbreak, and is willing to sacrifice herself, throw herself on the sword in most moments as well. And I think that openness, that vulnerability she's willing to bring in and invite in is something that I love about her. I also really love how much of herself she is. She is herself. She's getting made fun of for being herself. She's being criticized for being herself, and yet she's unwilling to change. She is going to hold true to who she is and lives it fully, sometimes to her betterment, sometimes to her detriment, but she's going to she's going to be her.
You're right. Suzanne does not in any way be anything but herself, even though she wants all these different people to love her.
Yes.
She never puts on another face to get them to do it. That's really strong.
She's still using the same old winks. She thinks she's winking, but it's just never worked out. But
do you, Uzo, remember the first scene you ever played as Suzanne?
Yes,
What was
absolutely. The first scene I played as Suzanne was episode 2, and it was when Piper had just gotten into her bunk, and I came in with the jalapeno peppers that I had stolen from the kitchen, and she was meeting me for the first time, and I said, everybody needs a friend in prison in here, something like that. That was my first scene.
And how did you feel about it when you did it?
Oh, I was so nervous.
I would think.
I was so nervous. This is the first big job that I had. I mean, I had big job that I had booked. I had booked an episode on Blue Bloods the week after I got Orange, but it was like a very quick. I was like, he went that away, like that kind of a.
That was
like,
it.
You know what I mean? Like that.
Where is he?
Exactly. You want fries with that?
Popcorn's
like
on
that.
that tape.
Exactly.
Right.
What time is it? Like that was my line. But this is the first time where I had to sort of shape something, and I was so nervous. But I remember I just kept telling myself, anchor in on what you know in terms of what you've thought this woman is, because if you start losing that, then the story's going to get muddy. But just who you feel this person is, just let that calm you down, which that usually does calm you down.
But I heard that when you didn't audition for this part, you auditioned for another part?
Yeah. I read originally for the role of Janae, the track star, and I went in with my knots, and our casting director, Jen Houston, who is amazing, and I'm forever grateful to her for coming to see the show I was doing at the time and for bringing me in. She was like, that was really great. And I thought, okay, you never know what's going to happen. And then I got a phone call from my representation, and they said, do you remember that audition you went in for Orange is the New Black? I said, yeah. Remember that part you went in for her to read? I said, yeah. And they're like, well, you didn't get it. I was like, okay.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They're calling actors to tell them they don't get a job now? Okay. And they're like, but they'd like to offer you another part. And I said, okay, great. And they said, what's the part? And they said, Crazy Eyes. And I was like, okay. It's not like it was the crazy track star, I was like, what?
What was there about me?
Exactly.
Right.
What about my audition? Felt like, but it wound up being the better marriage.
I also heard, and you can completely tell me this is all wrong, because now that you're so famous from you doing this, people are constantly saying things. But this sounds like it's almost too incredible to be true, that you were about to quit.
It is true.
Really?
I quit that day. That start of that phone call that I was just telling you about when I got this job, I had quit that day, that afternoon, and it was a Friday.
You said to yourself, I'm quitting.
Yes, and it was the first time in my entire career that I had done so. I'd had doubt before, but I'd never, in my heart, quit. And it was on a Friday in September, I'll never forget, 2012. And I had said that Monday, I am going to call my team and tell them thank you, but I think I'm going to go on. My family's from Nigeria, and we sort of pursue very traditional professions when you immigrate here, like medicine or law, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, you choose the most secure profession. Sure. I'm going to act.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is something that we know pays out. Yeah, exactly. Benefits everywhere. So I said, I'm going to make a call on Monday. And so when the phone rang, I answered it thinking, you know what? Today's just as good a day as any. I will tell them now. And instead, that was what was meeting me on the other line. that I had gotten
And you
this
get
job.
the call that says you didn't get that job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Just to let you know,
You didn't
on the day you're quitting the business.
Yeah, you didn't get
you didn't
the-
get this one, but you got this one.
Yeah, I got this one. Yeah, it was crazy, and it changed my life. It changed everything, you know. And don't quit, no quit attitude, and this idea of just always whatever. If you believe in it, you know, and if you are passionate about it, that you just have to always bet on yourself. You have to bet on you, and never, ever, ever stray away from that.
I saw you in the Wiz Live.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Look at that. Singing, was that always part of?
Oh, yes.
you were?
Well, I went to university. My degree is actually in voice performance, opera.
Really?
Yes, it's actually an opera. And I've always loved to sing. I've loved it since I was very, very small. I didn't even know I loved to sing. I think my mom noticed, and I sang in church and at my school, but
And it wasn't the little whispery singing. You were really doing.
yeah, I was
so
definitely
They
singing.
said, she's singing.
She
singing."
sings. She can sing. Yeah.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
Oh yes, I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
And you grew up in the Boston area?
Yes, just
Yeah.
outside of Boston. Wow. But I'm the only one pursuing the arts. My siblings are all artistic, but none do it for a living.
This show always ends in song.
Yes. Yes.
It does.
Yes.
I want something from your heart.
Something from my heart.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I want to sing like 9 million songs. I want to sing, what about your friends? Did you stand their ground? Would they let you down again? And then like switch it up to something else. I
Yes.
don't know. You could sing, yeah, we could sing Shoop. Shoop, do you know these songs? Shoop, baby. Shoop, baby. You do know it. Shoop. Here I go. Here I go. Here I go again, girl.
Wow.
I can sing that.
And let's go out with one more.
I could do.
Since you're breaking the
It was
record.
all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Hot Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, Rep Attack, Mr. Magic Molly Mall. Yes.
There you
Big
go.
hit. Closing it out.
Broadway musical is next. You know, that has to be.
Yes.
Uzo, you're a delight.
Thank
it's
you.
so great to have had you here.
It was amazing
yeah.
to be here.
And
Thank
you didn't
for
even
having
have
me.
any of my popcorn.
I mean, I didn't want to disturb the peace.
Peace with them. Well, we
Oh,
can't-
good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's yeah.
It's delicious.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anyway, you could come back anytime.
Thank
We'll
you.
just keep singing songs.
Fine.
Yeah, that'd
No
be great.
problem.